It's definitely better than always being on our guard. Kate nodded. She is currently leaning against a shield, enjoying the moment of relaxation. There was the occasional creaking of wheels belonging to the various vehicles around them as the line began to shorten. Hey, did you notice the increase in activity inside the forest? An adventurer said to another adventurer that didn't seem to be in their group. The adventurer turned to look at the other, their eyes wide in surprise. That happened to you too? It's weird, like we were getting swarmed by them. The adventurer that had initially asked continued. Our levels aren't high enough to handle this stuff. Do you think the guild knows about this? The other adventurer asked, their voice becoming worried. Hearing the adventurers around them whispering how things were getting strange, James had an idea that none of them had thought much about the attacks. They may have even suspected that what was occurring was just an unusual event and not part of any pattern. It wasn't until other adventurers talked about it that they began to make the connection that what happened in the forest wasn't normal behavior. The same thought that they were likely having was something was wrong. Maya leaned close to James and whispered, "Do we tell them?" As though sensing that Maya was thinking of informing the other adventurers, Mim turned his head. When James made eye contact with the cat person, Mim slightly shook his head. He mouthed the word, "panic." James' eyebrows raised as he realized that Mim was right. They were currently waiting to get into the city, behind the walls that would be able to protect them. If the adventurers around them heard that there were actually something wrong, they might try to force their way through. A lot of people could potentially be injured in the chaos. Thinking of the people they had informed on their way to the city, James wondered whether it would cause the thing they were now trying to avoid happening. But then, he dismissed it due to how far away they were. Since James and Mim's group had calmly explained the situation to each individual they met, letting them know that there was likely no immediate threat, the people approaching the city wouldn't be in a panic-stricken state of mind. If they were truly scared about the situation, it was more likely that they would escape away from the city, not towards it. The city would provide an easier target for the rock bears if anything was going to happen with the monsters. Even the forest cats may not run in their direction. We should wait until after we inform the guild, James whispered to Maya. Wanting to make sure that the others were on the same page, he looked at Adam, Kate, and Peter. Each one of them nodded, understanding the situation. As the line shortened, a voice called out to them. The guild is happy to see that your group has safely arrived. James looked to see an emerald-colored reptilian beast woman with long ruby red hair in a guild uniform greet them. Seeing that a guild official had appeared to personally greet them, there was a feeling of confusion. In the past, where he had to find people that failed to report in, guild workers had never personally come out to find them. Around them, merchants, travelers, and adventurers whispered amongst themselves, seeing someone from the Adventurers Guild venture out of the guild to personally greet adventurers. There were looks made to James and Mim's group, trying to figure out if there were anyone important. The travelers appeared the most confused, not being adventurers, but fully understanding how unusual of a situation it was and not typical of the guild. The Adventurers Guild wasn't a small organization. Its reputation was far-reaching to the point that all levels of society knew that the guild was something that demanded respect and deference. I can see that you're a little confused by why I would be here. The woman smiled mysteriously.